Good evening to our day's special weather news program. We bring you the most comprehensive updates on the meteorological conditions that are and will be impacting many regions around the globe. The main highlights include Tropical Storm Gabrielle over the Atlantic Ocean, the rare threat of extreme flooding rains in California, and complex weather shifts across the continental United States, from searing heat in the Midwest to widespread thunderstorms and even the first snows of the season in the Pacific Northwest. Altogether, these events paint a dramatic and challenging weather picture. First, let's provide detailed updates on Tropical Storm Gabrielle. According to the latest data this morning, Gabrielle has sustained winds of about 85 km per hour, 52 miles per hour, and a central pressure of 1,004 hectopascals. However, the system's structure remains disorganized, with thunderstorm activity displaced to the southeast, leaving its low-level circulation center fully exposed. On satellite imagery, Gabrielle looks even less impressive than many past tropical depressions. The main reason for this weakness is persistent strong upper-level wind shear, which disrupts convection, preventing thunderstorms from wrapping around the center. In addition, dry air and Saharan dust intruding from the east are further suppressing storm growth. That said, the outlook for the next few days looks quite different. As Gabrielle moves northwest, it will encounter more favorable conditions: warm sea surface temperatures of 28 to 29 degrees Celsius, 82 to 84 degrees Fahrenheit, abundant moisture, and weaker wind shear. Forecasters expect that around September 21 to 22, Gabrielle could strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane with winds near 120 km per hour, 75 miles per hour. In terms of track, major forecast models like GFS, Euro, and ICON generally show the system curving northeast and out to sea. But Bermuda remains a focal point of concern. GFS suggests Gabrielle will peak several hundred kilometers east of Bermuda, keeping a safe buffer. The European model shows a closer pass, skimming near the island's eastern waters, while ICON falls in between. This means that while the threat of direct landfall is low, Bermuda is still within the zone of potential impacts, including heavy rain, strong winds, and dangerous surf. In addition to Gabrielle, another tropical wave has just rolled off the West African coast. The U.S. National Hurricane Center assigns it a 20% chance of cyclonic development within 7 days. Environmental conditions remain unfavorable for now. With persistent shear and dry air, GFS predicts the wave will fade. Euro keeps it alive longer with potential to become a tropical depression in the central Atlantic, while ICON quickly deflects it north to weaken at sea. Overall, no immediate threat is seen for the Caribbean or the U.S. mainland within the next 7 to 10 days. While the Atlantic is relatively hesitant, the eastern Pacific has turned highly active. In just a few days, Hurricane Mario formed, and forecasts call for at least 2 more systems south of Baja California. Crucially, a massive surge of tropical moisture from these cyclones is being funneled straight into California by an upper-level trough, an extremely rare scenario. The U.S. Weather Prediction Center has issued a slight risk of extreme rainfall across a belt from Fresno through Los Angeles and San Diego to Las Vegas. Rainfall totals of 50 to 100 millimeters, 2 to 4 inches, locally exceeding 150 millimeters, 6 inches, are expected in the next 48 hours. The risks include flash flooding, urban inundation, and landslides on mountain slopes. This is particularly dangerous in California's drought-hardened landscape, where soil absorbs little water. Even a few centimeters of rain in a few hours can trigger flooding, and fast runoff down desert slopes could greatly worsen impacts. Moisture may also spread north into central California in the coming days, bringing another 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. While this could aid drought relief, it also heightens disaster risk if rain falls broadly and simultaneously. Turning to the central United States, the Great Plains and Midwest are under the influence of a slow-moving low-pressure system fueling strong thunderstorm development. Today, Kansas City may experience hail and damaging winds this afternoon. Des Moines, Iowa will see severe storms tonight, while Minnesota and Wisconsin continue to endure heavy rains overnight. Simulated radar shows storms firing over Oklahoma and Kansas, drifting northward and persisting for hours. Rainfall totals in the next 2 to 3 days may reach 50 to 100 millimeters, 2 to 4 inches. Locally above 125 millimeters, 5 inches. Hazards include flash flooding in narrow valleys, urban inundation, downed trees from wind gusts, and hail damage to crops, while the tornado risk is low. It cannot be fully ruled out. Looking ahead, a strong heatwave is returning. Much of the central and eastern U.S. is forecast to experience above-average temperatures, with highs of 35 to 38 degrees Celsius, 95 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, in Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and surrounding states. Some areas may surpass 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. High humidity will worsen the heat index, making conditions even more oppressive. By contrast, the Pacific Northwest prepares for its first cold outbreak of the season. From September 23 to 29, the Cascades and Rockies may see the season's first snowfall. Seattle and Portland will dip to nighttime lows of 8 to 10 degrees Celsius, 46 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, while mountain areas fall below freezing, signaling an early start to winter. Now let's break down forecasts in more detail by region. Northeast U.S., New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Maine, enjoying pleasant autumn weather with highs of 22 to 27 degrees Celsius, 72 to 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Light morning fog, and mostly sunny days. Maine and New Hampshire, under a weak cold influence. See nighttime lows of 10 to 14 degrees Celsius, 50 to 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Mountain valleys dropping below 8 degrees Celsius, 46 degrees Fahrenheit. By next weekend, as heat spreads east from the Midwest, New York and Boston could climb to 30 to 32 degrees Celsius, 86 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Midwest, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, widespread storms, especially heavy rain and lightning in Wisconsin and Minnesota, 70 to 100 millimeters in 48 hours. Chicago faces evening thunderstorms with gusts up to 40 to 50 km per hour. 25–30 miles per hour. Highs 28 to 33 degrees Celsius, 82 to 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Early next week, Iowa and Missouri may hit 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. South, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas and Louisiana remain hot and dry. Highs 34 to 38 degrees Celsius, 93 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Southern Florida, from Miami to Palm Beach, is under relentless heavy rain with daily totals of 100 to 150 millimeters, 4 to 6 inches, carrying a 15% flash flood risk. Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi stay drier with highs of 32 to 35 degrees Celsius, 90 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. South Central, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, under direct influence of the slow low. Thunderstorms thrive. Oklahoma City and Tulsa face repeated severe storm warnings with damaging wind and hail. Arkansas sees evening downpours. Missouri and Kansas bake under daytime highs of 36 to 39 degrees Celsius, 97 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, before evening storms arrive. West, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado and New Mexico are under 15% flash flood risk, with 80 to 120 millimeters, 3 to 5 inches, of rain in 2 days. The Rockies could see snow above 2.500 meters. Arizona and Utah remain dry. Highs 33 to 37 degrees Celsius, 91 to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Though evening storms may form over high terrain. Pacific states. California braces for extreme rainfall. Fresno, Los Angeles, San Diego up to 100 millimeters, 4 inches, with serious flood danger. Las Vegas in Nevada also sees heavy rain. Oregon and Washington trend much cooler. Daytime highs 18 to 24 degrees Celsius, 64 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Falling next weekend to 12 to 16 degrees Celsius, 54 to 61 degrees Fahrenheit, with cold rain and early snow in the Cascades and Olympics. Seattle and Portland drop to 8 to 10 degrees Celsius, 46 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, at night. With mountains below freezing. Northern Great Plains, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, showers and thunderstorms persist for days. 60 to 90 millimeters, 2 to 3.5 inches, of rain. Gusty winds. Montana nights fall to 7 to 11 degrees Celsius, 45 to 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Days 20 to 24 degrees Celsius, 68 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. With mixed rain and snow in higher elevations. In summary, the 7-day outlook shows the U.S. entering a sharply divided weather pattern, the Northeast mild but warming. The Midwest hot and stormy. The South mostly hot except for drenched Florida. The South Central swinging between heat and severe storms. The Southwest dry but Colorado, New Mexico under flood risk. California facing rare extreme rainfall. And the Northwest turning cold with early snow. Clearly, the atmosphere is in a highly volatile phase, simultaneously producing Atlantic storms. Rare California flooding, heatwaves, and even the season's first snow. We will continue to monitor closely and bring you the latest updates in future broadcasts. Especially on Tropical Storm Gabrielle and the rainfall threat in California. We wish you a safe day and the best of luck.